Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this video. Today we are back home here at Great Adventure on a kind of gloomy day out, so you can imagine the crowds that will be here today. As you can probably predict, this is what Preferred looks like, about no cars, so yeah, make your predictions now, how many buses there are. Well, there you go. There are now more buses than cars in the parking lot today, so gonna be a fun day today. I am getting here a little bit late, so I might not be able to make it to the rope drop opening, but I'll see what I can do with that. May or may not get on Flash today, but today is all about getting back on all of my favorite rides, like obviously Toro, Nitro, all of those good things. And there are many updates that have gone since the last time I have been here, so cannot wait to see those, cannot wait to see the progress on Project Purple, all those good things. But without further ado, let's get right into the park. And of course, since it is coming up to Memorial Day weekend, we got the Looney Tunes characters out in their Memorial Day attire. Of course, we got Sylvester and Tweety up here by the main sign. But park is now officially open, so we will now make our way over to Flash. Just one single ride here on the Flash because they pretty well packed that train over there. But it was a front row ride and it was really good. Running really good today, especially for a morning ride. Again, all the elements hit, especially in the front row. It's just an incredible ride. Of course, it is a supporter, as I've previously mentioned in previous vlogs. Of course, worth it to go here first thing in the morning, so it was a good idea to come here first, although there was a little slight delay at the beginning of the operational day just because they didn't quite have it ready for operation, but we managed to snag a front row ride and I'm happy about that. So really good ride here to start the morning on Flash. And then coming back down here to the Main Street area, I do want to highlight all of the major changes that have occurred when I was gone. First off, the Funnel Cake Factory got a major rehaul, getting a full facade repaint and also being renamed to the Funnel Cake Company rather than the Funnel Cake Factory. Second, we got a new sign for Main Street in place of the Coaster Candy sign. So we've got Main Street established 1844. Pretty nice touch right there. They've also got a nice antique car over here, over by the abandoned bank. There's also a neat Easter egg by the doorbell over there. Yes, there is a doorbell over there. So if you are here, find your way here at Main Street and find your way over to the right over here by the bank, make sure to check that out. Could just be a neat Easter egg, but a nice refresh to the Main Street area in time for the America 250 celebration. And quite possibly the biggest change that occurred when I was gone, Holiday in the Park has returned. It will be coming back later this year for of course, the holiday season. Super excited to have this back. I don't really know why they got rid of it in the first place, because it is a really cool event. Of course, not all the park is open during that time, but it's just really cool to see all the Christmas festivities, all the lights, all the stuff, all the good stuff like that. So happy to have Holiday in the Park return. Perhaps the biggest change for the 2026 Great Adventure season is the addition of more live entertainment, and this stage right here is one of them. This is Sweep the Beat, which is has been a very, very high regarded show. Hopefully they are offering it today, although I kind of highly doubt that just because it is a weekday. This might just be a weekend exclusive event, but either way, it should be cool to hopefully get back here on the weekend so we can see this amazing show, because there have been very good reviews regarding it. So hopefully we can get it later in the season, although it won't be too much of a worry if we don't. Got some stilt walkers sporting the Memorial Day fit.
Nice one.
Had a great day today?
Yeah, we're having a Six Flags day.
We're having a Six Flags day. All right. So with the Safari Spring Break stage being removed, that now opens up the old Coke watering hole station. So hopefully we can be able to get this location back so we can have more locations to fill up our cups. But either way, you will probably know the direction we are going. I don't think it has to be stated what we'll be doing next, obviously. Really hoping they get this on 2 trains soon. If not today, we will find out about that. But again, hoping this gets back to the full capacity that it is with both trains on the track. But if not, we'll be satisfied doing it how many times we can today. So see you back after the rides. I do want to point out this quick thing real quick. They got the wait time boards working, so happy to see that working. So let's hop a ride for El Toro on its 20th anniversary. Four incredible rides here on El Toro. Although, judging by the line over there, you could probably tell that it is still on one train. This desperately needs the second train added on it, because when the line is like this, even on an empty day, that's when you know the operations are suffering a bit. So really hoping the second train can get added on very, very soon, in time for the summer season, so we don't get absolutely ridiculous lines kind of like this. But ride-wise, running as great as ever. Of course, that back row is unmatched to anything else. I feel the back row has a good balance to the ride, whereas you get a lot of good airtime basically all throughout, rather than just on the camelbacks compared to the front row. Like I do like the front cars just because of the camelbacks alone, but again, the back does strike a good balance between those two. But really good rides. It's 4 rides here on Toro. Hopefully we can come back for more later tonight when the line is a bit more shorter, but again, I'm not holding my breath for that. The natural chain of events to occur next has me doing Medusa next. Only natural, it is part of the normal routine after all, so let's hop a ride. Solid front row ride here on Medusa. That is probably the best it has ever run this season. It is absolutely tearing through that first half, through every single element. And it helps that I got a fairly loose lap bar, so I was kind of just floating through every single one of those elements. Of course, trims are still hitting on the mid-course, so second half could only be so good. Although it was pretty, again, pretty decent with that loose lap bar. I got pretty decent hang time on the corkscrews back there, so not too bad in the second half. Although that first half kind of made up for it because it is again absolutely hauling today. Really good ride here on Medusa. One thing I do just want to point out real quick, they did actually install a permanent fence over by the old fast lane merge. Although it doesn't really do anything because I do still see people jumping up over the chain to sort of quote unquote skip the line. Although it doesn't really do anything. I don't really get that. It just might just be that because of the clientele today, because of all the school groups, it might just be that, but it's just weird to see that not even a fence can stop the line jumpers. Hopefully soon we'll see the former North Star Arena demolished so we can get a massive attraction back here to complement Medusa and of course Mine Train. I did receive an anonymous tip that they are planning to do something with this area, so we will keep our eyes out on this in the coming years, but for now we're just gonna have to stare at this for the empty plot of space that it is. Safari Frontier Station is alive and well. Unfortunately, not something I would like to do today, just because I am a solo and I don't really like doing those kind of attractions when I'm just here by myself. But good to know Safari is back and running again. Another one of those odd closures is Sawmill Log Flume. So over the past few weekends, this has been indeed open, and as we can see, there is water in the troughs there, so it has been cycling a little bit. So don't really know why it's been closed for the past few weeks or weekends, but as long as it's operating during the weekends, that's fine with me. But again, not an attraction that I plan on doing most of the time. So during the opening day vlog, I declared that the boardwalk was going to be the place to be this year. Well, it indeed still is, because there are many more changes that I have missed throughout my hiatus here. So let's go check them all out. So the first change that I have noticed is this temporary stage right here for the Singin' Seagirls. Now, it is rumored that they are going to be over in that region by Shoreline Pier, so this might just be a temporary location for their set here. So hopefully when Shoreline Pier does eventually open, they will be moved over to that location, but nice that they have just a temporary setup for now. And of course, you can't have a boardwalk overhaul without a overhaul of the facade. So all of the facades have been repainted to a sort of a cream white and a little bit of accented red. So I think that is a very good change in my opinion. The old colors didn't really blend well with the overall area, so happy they could finally revitalize all of these stands right here and actually make them kind of fit in with the up-and-coming Shoreline Pier over there. So really good change. And of course, the aforementioned Shoreline Pier will be opening later this year, probably around June they made an estimate. But want to make a note of this poster right here of "It's Rising." It is indeed rising, that purple monstrosity over there. And then what's neat about this is they partnered with the actual Project Purple for basically a charity donation. So you can find these QR codes all around the park. So if you would like to donate to the cause, help out Project Purple, that is where you're going to find that. But really cool that they were able to actually get that partnership down for this amazing project coming to the park. And giving a quick Project Purple update. There we go. That's what the current project is looking like. Obviously, we've got the full upside down stall in with, of course, the upside down launch. And over the week, they have been installing the third ascending launch into what is presumably the tower. So, absolutely amazing progress we're seeing here at this what's going to be a monstrosity of a coaster, which will most definitely change the skyline forever. Now officially over here by Shoreline Pier, let's also go over the fence, check out the progress there. from what we've been seeing, it is almost basically done. They've had a lot of concrete work done in the front half here over by Flying Scooters and of course Hypno Twister over there. So those rides seem to be the most complete out of everything, although we can see there is much more work to do as we can see by the wave swinger over there. So it looks like they are kind of testing in a way Super Roundup over there, which is the basically recolor and retheme of the old Swashbuckler ride. So again, hoping to see soon June opening for this, but it's gonna be absolutely revitalization of this whole area in general. And also looking a little bit to the left, in the very, very back there is Barrels of Fun. Layout fully completed. Of course, they have been rumored to have the vehicles in a bit of the delay, so you might see a bit more time before we see that testing. So hopefully they are able to get that done in time for this whole area opening, which is coming along very, very nicely. Cannot wait to see how this turns out. Directly across the midway from the currently built Shoreline Pier is the new food location, complimentary of Six Flags America. As we can see, there is a Gotham City skyline over there, which doesn't really fit in with the kind of area right now, so hopefully they are able to repaint and revitalize this stand over here to actually fit in with the rest of the area. But nice that they actually had the food location in right now, so making very good progress towards opening this thing. And of course, here comes the rain, so don't know how much more rides I'll be getting on right now. Hopefully I'll wait this out to let it pass, so we'll have to see for that. So recently Houdini has been open, although I don't really see a lot of activity over there today, so don't think it'll be open today, but it's good to see that it is back up and running, just unfortunately not today, so we can hop a ride back on this amazing attraction here. So even after being away for around 3 months, Batman is still that coaster to not yet open. At this point, it is very much up for grabs whether this is going to be open at all this year, just because it is taking a very, very long time to get ready for the season. So hopefully we'll be able to see Batman later in the year, just because it is a kind of a people eater. So just, yeah, B&M's, you know that, but it's sad to see it's not open right now, so we'll have to just take a look at this later in the year to see if it's open. So with the current weather forecast of rain, what better ride to ride than Nitro? Let's hop a ride. Very nice row 8 ride here on Nitro. Running amazing as always, and of course the crew doing amazing as always. The rain did kind of die down a bit, so it wasn't too much of a rain ride. Although rain rides are pretty nice here on Nitro, just because of the amount of wet track there is. So I don't know if that had to do an effect on how good the ride was running or not, but either way, still appreciate that ride. Well, I don't believe it was open on opening day, which is why I didn't get a ride on it. But right now, Jersey Devil is not boasting a too terrible line. I think that is because there are on at least 2 trains, maybe 3. I don't know, I'll just have to double check here. I know that one's going right now. I don't really see anything else in the station, so might just be on 2 trains, but I will take that on any day, especially here on an empty day where it is just in the station building and not in the queue house, so definitely got to take advantage. Unfortunately, do have to pay for a locker since, again, I am a solo today, so that is an unfortunate downside of this ride, but I will take a ride on Devil either way. not just one, but 2 rides here on Jersey Devil. I think it was given how the groups were oriented, plus the fact that I am a single rider today, so once I hopped in the back row, I was able to just stay back there for the re-ride, so nice little bonus there. Of course, it is raining right now, and RMC Raptors are known for hauling when it is raining. That is definitely the same for that goes for here. It was running as good as ever. Of course, it is heavily different than when it was running on opening day, where it was kind of very sluggish, not much airtime, but here got plenty of airtime, especially on this crow's nest right here. That's an interesting element on itself. So really very good 2 rides here on Jersey Devil. So as of now, the rain is getting a little bit irritating, and most of the rides have a decent amount of lines on them, so I think it would be a good time more than ever to take a lunch break. So I think you all know where we'll be heading. Was there any doubts that we would be here? Given how it is very, very hidden from the park, I don't think any of the school groups knows that this exists. So it's going to be absolutely empty in there, which I much appreciate in times like this. So hopefully we can wait out the rainstorm a bit with a nice meal over here. Here at Best of the West, you get the best value food. Of course, I got the smoked sirloin sandwich right here, which is one of the better options on the menu. But all of the meals come with tater tots, cornbread, and coleslaw. So right here at Best of the West, this is the best value place for food. So cannot wait to dig in. The undisputed, no question, no doubt about it, best place to eat in the park, as you can see by the empty plate over here. So when you are coming to Great Adventure, do not skip Best of the West. This is the best place to eat in the park, and on a slow day there is absolutely nobody here, so definitely recommend Best of the West. So a major plus of eating at Best of the West, does seem that the rain is cleared up a little bit now. It obviously still is a little bit drizzly here and there, but overall it seems to be much better now. So hopefully that means the ride lines will be died down heavily. So gonna check the line here at Toro. Of course, with it being on one train, I don't expect it to be much smaller than it was earlier, but should be interesting to see how long that line is. But if not, I'll try to find something that has a shorter line just to take advantage of the shorter crowds today. As of now, not too terrible, but still I don't think it'll be worth waiting for it, since I did get 4 rides earlier. So you're probably gonna find a different ride to ride. So something weird just happened. All the music in the park just suddenly cut off for some reason. I do see Giant Wheel still going, so I don't think that means a loss of power necessarily, but just a weird oddity here at Great Adventure today. I have heard a little bit of rumblings of closing early, and that might be the first sign of it, but hopefully they are able to stay open just a little bit more. So as you could probably tell from the last clip, we are here back in the Metropolis Movie Town area. I'm gonna check the line for Justice League, although again I don't have high hopes for it, just because it is one of the indoor attractions in the park, and people will probably want to get out of the rain. Plus the fact that Flash is right there, and people just exit and then get in line for here. So gonna see, but I don't have high hopes. All right, and it is a walk-on, so definitely gonna hop a ride.
They can disable bombs, cause inanimate objects to explode.
Well, that was probably the worst Justice League ride I have ever done. To begin with, the gun calibration was all off. I was in the upper row and about the middle. Half the time my blaster wasn't registering on the screen, so that was a lot of missed opportunities there. But didn't even matter, because half of the screens didn't even work. Now, I believe they have been informed, so they are about to shut down the ride to possibly find a solution to that, but just unfortunate that I had to get a scrubbed ride there. But luckily this is our home park, so we can ride it again if we do choose so. But for now, just not a great ride on that. And it's not looking too great for a Nitro re-ride either, because obviously it doesn't look like there are riders on that. It does look like just an empty parked train up there, but obviously that right now is not open, so that is another major ride that is not currently open. And then Wonder Woman, of course, is boasting a full queue as always, even though it is an empty day. So this day is really testing my patience right now. I don't know how much more I'll be doing. I'll just be wandering around just to see what is and is not open, or what does have a kind of a short line. So not too sure of the length of my visit too much. So I actually think that flicker in the music did kind of affect everything else, because Sky Screamer, Giant Wheel, and everything in this area is not working, which kind of makes sense because there have been an increase. I've noticed an increase of people on the midways, which means everybody is not in line anymore, which also means that no rides are open. So I guess everything is closed here at Great Adventure right now, just because of that one little power flicker there. So I'm just gonna wander around, see what is open. I don't know about the west side of the park though, so I'm gonna just head over there just to double check. But after that, I don't know how much longer I'll be staying. So right then and there, they just made the announcement that because of the power flicker, all rides and attractions are currently down. Although we did see Superman testing a little bit, so I think I'll just hang around here and see what happens with that. Good to see it up and running again. It will be interesting to see on the lift hill all the progress here at Shoreline Pier. So definitely want to attempt to get on this so we can get that view. But we'll have to wait and see to find out.
12 seconds later.
Alright, and immediately after the last clip, they said that the ride was clear to go, so we're gonna hop a ride. So from here in the queue line, we can't really get too much of Shoreline Pier, although this view of Barrels of Fun is really, really good. Unfortunately, that does kind of block everything that's going on with Project Purple, although they are really focused on the tower part over there now, so we can't really get a good glimpse of that. But great views here of Barrels of Fun at Shoreline Pier. Now just move to the left a little bit. Gonna get a decent view of Super Roundup over there. I did see that there were a few parts over there, or it actually just looks like a lot of painted stuff. So it does appear that Super Roundup is officially completed. Well, not officially completed. Still have to put the seat backings in. But earlier today, I did see that it was kind of tilted up. So I guess they were kind of testing out those sort of mechanisms. It does seem that they have finished up those testings a little bit. So very, very excited for Shoreline Pier later in June. Interesting ride here on Superman. So I did decide to switch it up a bit. I did row 2 actually. That was actually the row that had the least amount of wait, so I did not want to wait too long for this. Obviously, did get a nice view of Shoreline Pier over there. Cannot overstate my excitement for that later this year. But ride wise, you all know how it is. Pretzel Loop dominates, but it is a weird in the second row. You do get a little bit of a airtime pop coming out of it, so that was certainly different. But either way, just the same old boring Superman. Just a good sporting here, nothing more than that. I don't know how well it comes out in the camera, but it appears the lights on Hypno Twister are on. I don't know what that entails, if they'll be kind of testing the ride today, or just kind of testing the lights out. I don't really know. Either way, still excited for that. So with all the rides returning to normal operation, we are going to check if A, Toro is open, and B, if it has a short line. I'm not banking on either of those just because I haven't seen it go in a little bit, but doesn't hurt to check though.
Our tracking cars temporarily late. Our teams are currently in the process of performing their safety checks. Once those are completed, we will be able to resume normal operation.
And they just played this the safety announcement again. It just appears that a select few attractions opened after the power outage. It does not appear that Toro is one of them. So it's looking like that might end my day because I unfortunately do not have any more patience to wait out any of the maintenance checks. I think I did get a fair amount of rides in today, so I'm gonna start making my way towards the exit. That is going to just about do it for my day here at Great Adventure. I know I was expecting all the school groups to be there just because it is just a weekday, so it kind of had to expect that, but I was definitely not expecting that power outage midway through, which basically shut down the entire park. So I think I did make the best of it in the first half of the day. Got on all most of my favorite rides that I know and love. Happy to come back to my place that I call home. Summer is officially here, so videos will start to ramp up from here on out, so stay tuned for that. But that is going to just about do it for this video. Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, leave a like if you enjoyed, and of course subscribe for more theme park content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.